Hello everyone, welcome to another video of Vinyl Addict, and this is Chili, and today I've got the new Cult album, Under the Midnight Sun, and I'm gonna go through this album with you guys and the tracks and my thoughts on this. But before doing so, please hit the like button, share and comment on this video, and if you still haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. And with that, let's get started on this. Now, this is the first Cult album. We haven't heard one in 6 years. Now, the last album was Hidden City, which came out, and you know, that got some mixed reviews and whatnot. I personally like that album compared to some of the other ones that they were putting out prior to that album. And this is the 11th album of the Cult, by the way. And people are saying this is calling back to the first album, which was Dreamtime. And the only thing that ties these two albums together is that they were both recorded in the same studio, Rockfield Studios. And, well, some of the members were. Ian was sending his parts from LA due to the pandemic. So half of the guys are in the UK recording that, where they recorded Dreamtime, and Ian was in California. So, but as far as calling back to Dreamtime, I would say it's very faint. Now, I felt Hidden City actually there was callbacks from like their whole career, you know, through that album. That's what made it really good, in the sense that it wasn't just, okay, nostalgic reasons. It was them embracing their past, but at the same time, which was great about the Cult, is when they do this, is that they push forward to new territory. Now, this album is more new territory, and, you know, I'd say like 90%, 85 to 90% new territory, and probably like, you know, 5 to 10% just like kind of like, oh, you know, you could hear little nuances of little things, you know, reminiscent, you know, maybe some of their influences like Joy Division, you could hear some of that kind of stuff, but it's pretty much a new direction, a new Cult. I felt the Cult was kind of reborn again with Hidden City. Now, what I mean by it's a typical Cult album in the sense where it's just, it's different in the sense where if you look back to their catalog from, you know, Dreamtime, Love, Electric, Sonic Temple, every album, there was like a 180-degree change in their next album, from album to album. You know, from Dreamtime to Love to Electric, Electric to Sonic Temple to Ceremony, Ceremony to the Black Goat to, you know, Beyond Good and Evil. And I felt like with Born Into This, that's when it started to get kind of stagnant. And Bob Rock came back and did Choice of Weapon, and kind of brought back the, you know, the heavy rock, arena rock sounds and whatnot. And then Hidden City was the rebirth, I felt. And this is that continuation, you know. So let's go through this. So here's the cover, and even like the packaging of this is really unique. They're not on the album. There's no pictures of these guys, no photos. And the producer is Tom Delgety. He's done Royal Blood, and he's done Ghost, and so I think that's another thing about this, because, you know, as great as I think Bob Rock was, producing like 5 albums of the Cult, and every time they kind of wanted to go on a little change, you know, he was up for it, and he did, you know, work with them. But I think a complete change, and just, you know, somebody else that that is new too. He's a younger guy, you know. He's like I said, worked with Ghost and worked with Royal Blood, And like Royal Blood's albums, you know, they're like 35 to 40 minutes, and so this album is like 35 to 40 minutes, and they just wanted a tight kind of set of songs, and so this is how it looks inside. There's like those eyes. Okay, so going through these tracks here, we got starting off, there's 4 songs in each side. Mirror, A Cut Inside, Vendetta X, and Give Me Mercy is side 1. And these are, you know, pretty much rock songs. Not like, more like I said, as the tone is more like the last record. It's not like Born Into This or you know, some of that period, those 3 albums of Born Into This, Beyond Good and Evil. It's not the cusp of heavy metal. You know, these are just like, it's more so like the song Love or the song Electric, the song The Phoenix, things like that, you know. Or even like the Peace album, which was finally released with Electric, and it kind of filled in the blanks between Love and Electric. So it's sort of that kind of tone. It's not, you know, not metal. It's just a different place. There's a lot of textures to these songs, you know. If I would harp back to anything like out of Sonic Temple, it would be like Soul Asylum. You know, very cerebral. You know, they're playing with that side of the cult more. The Love era of the cult, not more of the abrasive side of the cult, like Electric and, you know, that side. It's more like the other side, which is cool. Meaning like even the leads of Billy Duffy's on here are his best in a long time. It's like this producer really did the follow up to Love, you know, and and the thing is, there's so many surprises in this album, which was great. Which is and the surprises are really, you know, they're not so much to take in. They're just like, it seems like, and that was the thing about the cult, even though they went 180 degrees, like say to the Electric album from Love, it seemed like they were comfortable playing that music. They just fit into that new sound, like as if they were that sound the whole time. And this is sort of like that. They just kind of like fit into this new sound, and it's just like, it seems like they felt so comfortable at it. It's not like they're just kind of scratching the surface and trying things. It seems like, oh, this is, you know, there was really some thought involved in this, in the songs. You know, the complexities of it, the orchestration, and they're coming back to being visionaries. You know, just seeing where they could go with their albums and the concepts and whatnot. Now, that being said, Ian Astbury, you know, he said in an interview regarding this album that, you know, his influence, what inspired him was Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones. And how Brian Jones was a visionary. Now, even though the Stones were just a blues band, blues-based rock band, that he was the one, not only that he formed the group and he was the founding member, but he was into all these different kinds of rhythms and music, and he would always kind of push the band, getting them out of their kind of comfort zone, rhythm and blues feel, and do things elsewhere, you know, take the music elsewhere. And so Ian felt like, yes, even though instead of being a blues rock band, they're like a post-punk goth band, which is their core, but still taking their music elsewhere. And so that idea of Brian Jones is what seeped into this and inspired him, and that's why the album is so unique and so different than anything they've done, and which is great. It's like it's fresh air. It's like breathing in fresh air. This is something really new, and I really enjoy the record, and I would think that from the beginning to the end, there is no filler. You know, there isn't, like, even with Hidden City, there was some songs that were just kind of like, you know, there was one Holy Mountain song where he's trying to sound like Elvis. You know, I could take it or leave that one, but this one was just like, you know, it was perfectly from beginning to end. You're not going to be sorry. As far as if you're looking for a new and exciting cult, you know, and because at 11, at being the 11th album, you know, you wouldn't think that they would sit and try to do something, anything kind of new. They could just keep on doing that kind of riff rock, but that thing got kind of old, and they kind of knew it, and so it was great that they moved on and did something different. And so let's look at the songs here, like Mirror, Cut Inside, Vendetta, X, and Give Me Mercy, which was the lead-in single for this album, which is really good. Yeah, the songs on side one are more just rock songs that they're experimenting with different things and trying to do different things on just the rock level. The second side is where it gets interesting, and that's my favorite side. And Outer Heaven is the first song on side two, which is my favorite song. It's sort of just like I was mentioning Soul Asylum from the Sonic Temple album, that first song on side two. This is sort of kind of like that. It's just sort of just otherworldly, and it's just, you know, takes the listener to a different place. And they're not, this album's like, of course there's no pressure of them trying to make a single or trying to, you know, be relevant in this day and age. They're just thinking in the realm of albums and where they could take their music. And Outer Heaven is that kind of piece. You know, it's sort of just like, you know, that kind of Kashmir kind of place. It's just like it's another place for the cult to be. And the guitar lead is amazing on that, and The Knife Through the Butterfly Heart, which is the song that follows, great track. This last side, Impermanence, that is you know, something that Ian he's always been dealing or kind of delving into, whether it's like Hinduism and this is Buddhism. You know, Impermanence is everything changing while everything is or nothing lasts forever, as nothing lasts forever. So everything is changing while everything is decaying at the same time. So yeah, just wrap your head around, you know, these kinds of things. This, you know, goes with the music though. That's why. I mean, these are these things that he's writing about. You know, it's not like Come On Little Devil with, you know, just a, you know, a rock riff. You know, there's something much more to it, of course, and that's the thing. It's the journey, and then it ends with Under the Midnight Sun, which is big, epic, orchestral, you know, cinematic kind of piece. You know, and as far as an album closer, it's kind of a weird one. It's just sort of just like, you know, it doesn't have some of those, you know, those songs that they've had in the past, like or even like in the last album, where they're just kind of just, you know, very kind of melancholy or dark. And this one is just maybe because we're not used to having a shorter album by them again, but it kind of just I just wanted to play the album again, you know. And as far as like the lead off single, you know, it's as an introduction to this before the album came out, to me it was just like, I had to listen to it a few times, but after listening to it in the context of the record, it made a lot of sense, and I liked it more. It's sort of like The Who's, what was that song? Pinball Wizard. I never really liked that song when it would come on the radio. I was just like, oh, that's a silly song, you know. I like the strumming of the guitar, whatever. It seems like a real novelty song. But then when you heard it on the context of the album, Tommy, it made a lot of sense. You know what I mean? And watching the film, so it's just like, oh, then I fucking love the song, you know, just like, oh, that's a great song, Pinball Wizard, you know. But as it was just heard by itself, yeah, it didn't do nothing for me. And that's how this song kind of started off, you know, the Mercy song, Give Me Mercy. But then as I heard it with the rest of the album, it was just like, it totally makes sense. It's a perfect album, is what I'm trying to say. There's no filler. Everything should be here. And great production. The guy, Tom Delgety, did a great job with the Cult. Hopefully they'll stay with him and do another album. But that's my video on the Cult today. You know, hit the like button. Please share on this and comment below. Tell me what you thought. If you heard this album, I like to hear what people think about this new Cult album. You know, I felt like this is the album that I've been waiting for. You know, it's just been like, you know, 6 years in the waiting, but you know, it was well worth it. And so there we go. And subscribe to this channel if you still haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video.